what's up internet? My name is Nikki and today I will be doing my wrap up. So these are all the books that I was currently reading and now finished. So yay for that. And if you guys want to check out my progress in any of the books, you could check out my Goodreads in the description below. Ooh. So let's do this. The first book I ended up reading is The Lightning Struck Heart by T.J. Klune. This is the first book in the series and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This story follows Sam, who is a wizard. Well, sort of wizard. He's an apprentice to a wizard, so he's sort of learning how to become a full-fledged wizard for the future king because he will one day be the wizard to the future king. That was a weird tongue twister. Anyways, Sam has this undeniably love for the king's commander's knight, and he is head over heels in love with this guy. But the issue is this guy is currently dating the future king, and turns out that they're not just dating, they're engaged and they will one day get married. And Sam is heartbroken and crushed because he can't do anything about this. So one day, while Sam and Justin, the future king, are doing certain things, because you kind of have to read the book to find out what they were doing. That makes it so much worse than it actually sounds. Anyways, they were out talking about a certain someone when Justin, the future king, gets kidnapped by a dragon. Sam has to go save Justin from this dragon, but with the help of not just his two best friends, but also Ryan, the guy he has been in love with for a very long time, and Justin's future husband. And they go on this journey and a lot of things happen between Justin and Ryan and Sam and this really weird triangle of romance, or not romance, I don't know. You have to read it. It's really wacky. I loved it. I thought it was sassy, especially if you like unicorns, and they're gay unicorns at that matter, if that helps. The second book I ended up reading is the second book in the series, which is A Destiny of Dragons by T.J. Klune. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This kind of continues sort of what we left off in the first book, because we find out that Sam somehow knows how to speak to dragons and they can speak to him, which is really weird, and apparently no other wizard can do that besides Sam himself. So this kind of just goes into a destiny that Sam has with dragons, and I can't say anymore because then it's kind of spoilerish. So yeah, but I did really enjoy it. I do admit it's sort of like a filler leading up to the rest of the other two books that will be coming up. The next book I ended up reading is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This follows basically werewolves. Sort of werewolves? Wolves. Something. It was an interesting book, I have to say that. I'm not quite sure. I just know I really did enjoy it just because it's sort of like a love story about wolves. And it's about this girl who kind of falls in love with this certain wolf and stuff kind of happens between them and things. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how to explain it because I feel like if I say any more, it's kind of like a full-on spoiler besides the whole wolf thing, because on the cover it shows a girl and a wolf, so I think you kind of already know where it's going. The next book I ended up finishing is actually a comic book, and that is Fence by C.S. Pacat, and this is the 4th issue in the series, so I can't really say much except that it's an all-boys school and it's about fencing. That's basically all it is, and it is a lot of angst. Lots and lots of angst. And I love it. The next book I ended up finishing is Solitaire by Oseman. I give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This story is sort of really about depression. It kind of follows Tori Spring, who is not really herself anymore. She doesn't really find joy in anything, and she's just kind of like, I don't really know how to explain the feeling of it. It's just really depressing, and you kind of understand that Tori doesn't really know what to do with herself anymore. And it starts off with her finding a sticky note on her locker that leads her to a computer room, and on a certain computer there is a URL named Solitaire that takes you to a blog on Tumblr. And she doesn't really know what's going on because there's nothing on the blog whatsoever until certain stuff starts happening out throughout the school school year about pranks and things going amiss. And Tori starts connecting the dots that it might be related to her in some way, but then again, she might just be overthinking it. And the story kind of is really dark and funny at the same time. So if you kind of like dark humor, I would say go for it. I kind of liked it and sort of didn't like it at the same time. I did like the characters, because if you have not read the web series Heartstoppers by Alice Oseman as well, this is actually the beginning of it all. Heartstoppers is sort of like a prequel to this lead up, I guess, and it's just really interesting to see where it came from. The next book I ended up finishing is This Winter by Alice Oseman. This is a prequel to Solitaire. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This is basically all the events that led up to Solitaire. So certain things of what happened to Tori Spring, of how she became depressed, and just a little more backstory of her brother Nick and Charlie, and some other characters that we met in the book Solitaire. The next book I ended up reading is Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. This I gave a 5 out of 5 stars just because I loved it so much. This actually intertwines with Heartstoppers, because Heartstoppers is a prequel to these events. These is sort of what happens to Nick and Charlie after Solitaire in their relationship in Heartstoppers, and it kind of leads to certain questions, because what I didn't realize is that Nick is actually older than Charlie, and so this is the time that Charlie is starting to see what's gonna happen when Nick graduates, and it's just a really cute and fluffy little read to go through, because it is a short story based on the series, and it's really sweet, and I really did like it. So I can't wait to get to that part in the Heartstoppers web series. So yeah, that is it for my current reads, or not so current reads, because I actually finished them. So yeah, my wrap up in overall. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If not, that's cool. I usually try to upload Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays. So yeah, I catch you later. Whoop, bam.